our team is the target sensor team. It's us six. And we've actually come up with an innovation to detect and analyze urine. It's kind of like a different, it's exactly, well not exactly, it's sort of like another project that's out right now. It's called UCheck. UCheck actually analyzes your urine by taking a photo analysis of it, and it lets you know if there's any ammonia or anything like that inside your urine. With ours, it's very unique because of the fact that nobody has the application that we have. Ours automatically takes, with the sensor, it analyzes your urine, it takes that and sends it directly to the application on your phone, and it lets you know if you have low pH or if you're dehydrated or if protein is being lost through your body. So that's something that nobody's done yet, and it does it instantly. Unlike hospitals, they actually take a minimum of 24 hours to analyze your urine. With our device, they'll be able to analyze it in minutes or seconds. It's instantly, you can't say instantly, but it'll be able to analyze it a lot quicker, saving time and money and resources. So, as of right now, the United States is facing a crisis because of the fact that the finances for healthcare costs is up to $2.3 trillion a year. It's only going up every year. 84% of that goes towards chronic illnesses. One of those chronic illnesses is dehydration. So we're trying to limit the amount of time that you spend in the hospital every year and limit the amount of healthcare costs that everybody's spending yearly. The way we plan to do this is by the application. So let's see what you're talking about.
All right. Alright, so the idea for target sensor is very simple, it's very intuitive. Have you ever been at a urinal, for example, and you're doing your thing, and you see a little chip or a tab that you just kind of like aim for because it's fun and it's what you're doing. Target sensor would be that tab. So instead, what it does is it reads in, it has a sensor built in that communicates via a secure connection to either your phone or to a main server computer. There's two levels of application. We're thinking there's the home and there is the hospital kind of setting. In the hospital kind of setting, for example, it's not gonna be the definitive urine test that you need at a hospital, but it's gonna be the test that you do first to advise a test. So, you're going to take a 24-hour check. It's going to be, so your hospital tag will have an RFID tag, and it'll read that RFID tag, which is unique to you, and it will send to the nurse's station computer and say, oh, this patient, I would advise a more in-depth test. For your home application, we want to do several levels of engagement. So the first level of engagement is you go in, you do your business, and it glows. It glows red, glows green, or anything in between. And the idea is, well, green means good, red means bad. You see red, you want to see a little bit more what's going on. So it sends information to your phone, and it keeps a history of that via Bluetooth connection. And what you do is you check, and you see, that's very interesting. The last 4 times I've gone to the bathroom, it's been yellow. So what's going on? And it'll give you either tips that you can do to prevent that from happening anymore. And if you're doing everything else and nothing else happens, and you haven't figured it out, you can check the instances it's been yellow and send them to your doctor. And he can do a further analysis. He can say, hey, better come in and check what's going on next. Then, so there's different levels of engagement. Mario will walk you a little bit through what's going on with what we need.
With the going back to the opportunity, if you see right now, as of right now, 239.2 million people suffer from chronic dehydration. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to fix that with this application and with the sensor that we get going, the privacy of your own home. So if you don't want anybody else to know what's going on, because a lot of people will delay themselves from going to the hospital because they don't want to be embarrassed. So because of that, this solution will actually help you. It will help you know what's wrong with yourself. that the whole time? Can I just let you guys know the budget, or is that it?
I have a question, what's your budget?
Yeah.
Okay, the budget, right now, if we're just trying to make a prototype, the budget would only be $200. If we're just wanting a prototype, if you guys want to see how it works. But if we're trying to do like 3 or 4 different prototypes, get the item patent, get it out there, advertise, and material cost, just for the patents right now for an electrical mechanical device are anywhere from $1,800 to $3,500. On top of that, if we're wanting to make 3 different products, including the patent, with the materials and the machines, we'd be looking anywhere from $3,500 to $5,000. But that includes, that's in the future if we're wanting to keep this project going, which we do want to keep it going. It's up to you to see if you guys want to.
What's your,
For the homies, I mean, what does this prototype look like and where does it sit in a home toilet?
Yeah, so right now we're actually working on the actual prototype and getting it built and printed out through a 3D printer. Because over here at school it makes it really efficient because we have the 3D printer just printed out through SolidWorks. But the device would just be like this big. It'd be very aerodynamic because of the fact that you're putting it on like on the side of the toilet right where the water starts. And then when you use the restroom, you'd be able to detect it. Once you flush it, it automatically resets. But that would be integrated with a Bluetooth device that would go to your phone. It would have a little battery. It would only be like the size of this, with probably not an Arduino. It would probably be some sort of micro Arduino that would be put in it. And of course, a program would be able to design it to actually work and test all the different things that you could.
So the main processing that goes with this device would actually exist outside. On the top lid of your processor, you would have just something running down to the toilet in a fashion. A little bit of background about us. I'm an industrial designer and a computer engineer, and we have a whole series of different engineers here that are going to be working to design that would get it to the right level, especially making sure that it's aesthetically pleasing, especially for your home use.
so this is there's a guts box that's sitting somewhere in the toilet, there's a wire running down to a sensor.
Well, as of right now, for the sensor,
Yeah.
since you're talking about the sensor, it would only be, so right now, if we're wanting to make it as of right now, we'd have to do a sensor.
I'm not talking about as of right now, I'm talking about what you envision going to the marketplace.
Envision going to the marketplace would just be a sensor about that big that gets put onto the toilet, inside your toilet,
Yeah.
with some sort of adhesive.
Yeah.
After that, it automatically sends the information it needs to your Bluetooth
And
device.
how,
on your
so
phone.
it's a sensor and power and
Power would come
Bluetooth.
from the battery.
Right,
exactly,
so
that
battery
runs
power,
on the
right,
watch.
right, so you got a sensor, you got a battery, you got Bluetooth connectivity, and so when I head into the bathroom, it's gonna pair with my phone
Yes.
and sit, and it's
Exactly.
gonna read what's going on and send a signal from my phone.
And it would only work through your certain phone because of the fact that it would be paired with it. Unless you actually paired your
Set up
phone
a
with
key.
it, you wouldn't have any way of knowing where it's inside.
So how does it know that it's, me in the bathroom and not my kid?
Yes,
So
right.
the way it works is, have you guys heard of near field communication, sensing things that are near you? With the Bluetooth sensor, based on the signal that is being received between the two devices, it knows how far you're to the device. So it would only have like a 1 foot area that it would communicate with. So you would have to have your phone on you to get the information. But that way, we make sure that no one else gets your information necessarily.
Unless they're holding your phone, right? So if I give you my phone,
Exactly.
Yeah, unless they're holding your
then
phone.
his results read on my phone.
Yeah, which is, I mean, it's one of those things that.
So you have a patient identifier, right? And then you have patient health data, ones, hydrated or not hydrated. So that means this has to be HIPAA compliant. And so what are the requirements there that you have to meet?
For patients, individual patients that are getting.
This, you're collecting medical data, right?
Yep.
And so that means you may be at risk because, I don't know, maybe I hear that, I don't know, who's famous, Angelina Jolie, and she has one, so I, stand outside her door and try to get her data, and then, holy Christmas, she's like dehydrated, she just beat bread,
They would only
and-
be able to go to your
Yeah.
phone.
And so it's, like, that data is.
Yeah, it's private, it's a matter of privacy, right?
Yeah.
So it would only work with your phone. So the device would only be paired with your phone. It wouldn't be paired with anybody else unless you pair it with
Where's the
that.
data stored?
The data on the
On your phone.
application. On the phone. So the
So
application.
it's not in the cloud?
No,
Water.
once it's flushed from the sensor, it's flushed into your phone. And I mean, on the cloud, basically all it means is some server somewhere, but it's not.
Server somewhere that's, I mean, you can't just say that to us, right?
No,
Like,
but
like the data's on a
there
server
wouldn't
somewhere.
be a server somewhere. I mean, you're talking about numbers in variables that are less than a couple bytes. So you don't really need to store them anywhere else unless you.
So it's just on the phone.
Yeah, it would just be on your phone, be specific. If you upload them into your computer, that's it. But you'd be the chief owner of that information, and we would make sure that that information doesn't leak anywhere else through various secure connections and stuff like
What's your business model? How much is it gonna cost you to make the thing, and
So-
how much are you gonna sell it for?
Okay, so at first, we're thinking about like I said, the first prototype will probably be around $200.
No, I'm talking about prototype, you're in market.
Afterward,
What you're gonna,
once you already, okay, so we're thinking about $50 per item. So the sensor connected with the application would all sell for $50. The materials and the items would probably have to be manufactured either overseas if we had some sort of connection over there, or we can find a way to make them here cheaper as a mass production, and then we'd be able to benefit from it. If we sold it for $50, we would make, say, $10 on each individual product that we sold.
so you're thinking you'd make it for $40 and sell 50?
And get a $10.
How much is a
profit.
Fitbit thing?
Fitbit, they're,
My wife has one of those.
yeah, you know, okay, so with Fitbit,
I just want to know about how much it is. Is
that.
anyone-
About $100.
yeah, about $100.
So for I can spend $120 and know how I slept and like, you know, how far I walked, or I can spend $50 and know what my piece is. So I'm
You
just
get-
saying, like, if I'm spending money on my own health monitoring, there's some pretty good stuff out there that you kind of have to like either have a differentiator besides like, because like right now I look at my pee, right, and it's like, oh, I should drink more water, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't like go like this.
But the thing about looking at your own urine is trying to analyze, seeing if you actually need more water. It's not always accurate. You can say, okay, my pee is yellow because of the fact that I'm dehydrated. That might not be the reason. It could have been because of something you took or something you ate or something you drank. So just by looking at it, you can't really tell if
Your
you're
friend Al has a comment.
I just want to add, it's not just about dehydration. In the future, we're looking to read pH level, protein, bacteria, and a lot more stuff than that.
You can tell if you have a kidney malfunction just
So
by
who's your target market? Is it
Target market.
athletes?
Well, the target market is the general population because there's a lot of health buffs out there. Right now, if we take Fitbit, I think it's called, we take 1% of them. Say they sell $1 million worth of products every year. We take 1% of that, we're selling $10,000 a year just on the product because of those health buffs are the ones that are going to Whole Foods, they're going to all these different places just to get what they need. If we take 1% of each one of those, say 4 different places that actually health buffs go to, you'd be looking at $40,000 within a certain amount of time, off 1%.
Another aspect of our target market is aging baby boomers. Keeping their independence, keeping them healthy is very important to us. And having something that monitors their health without being obstructive, without having to require them to go to the doctor, we feel it to be a very beneficial product for itself.
And so, as an aging baby, I would suggest, like, if my parents were alive, I would be concerned, as many of my peers are concerned about my parents. And like, I know a couple of our clients are health monitoring organizations, like, you know, visiting nurse associations.
We actually have that as well.
It's gonna be really hard to sell the 4 of us, you know, like let's monitor your urine. You know, just because I may want to spend my money elsewhere on my other, like, you know, health things. But if you were to sell to something like the visiting nurse associations, right, because they have patients, they already do in-home monitoring. And they would then deal with all the HIPAA challenges. Because if you can figure out a way where they can say, yeah, we monitor, Glenn, we monitor your mom and dad, so if they're not eating right or drinking right, or if they're, you know, not using the bathroom for 6 hours or 8 hours, you know there's an issue, we can have someone, that's a big market. And then selling to those places, because they're gonna say, I'm gonna mark this shit up twice, you know, to my friends, I'm gonna mark this up twice, and I'm gonna make money off of it. Like, they're gonna be happy to resell your stuff, so I would consider selling to health services organizations so they could sell to our parents. you know, or us as we're monitoring our parents.
Exactly, because if you guys do want to monitor your parents, this would be actually the perfect innovation that would help you monitor, like you said, because it would, if you think that there might be something wrong with your parents, then you definitely put a sensor inside your house and it would only give it to your phone so you can know what's wrong with them, how to treat them, and what type of medical advice to give.
What do you guys have built right now? What's your status?
We have the SolidWorks piece made. We want to print it out. Sergio was working on getting, so we wanted to present it to you guys today, but we weren't completely done with it. But we are, right now, we're at the stage where we can take it to the 3D printer and get it printed out.
So you have the design?
Yeah, we already have it.
Do you have all the electronics figured out?
Electronics would have to go through.
Right now, so as we stand right now, first what we need to do is do Arduino mock-up that basically uses Arduino electronics just to make sure we can test functionality, make sure everything is on bar, make sure our logic is working, make sure our security checks are in place. And then once we have that, we can go on to further design what microprocessors to use, all the actual end gadget that it's going to be.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.